Good evening and a warm welcome to Heart with Preeti. Yet another inspiring episode today with an awesome guest on the series of Heart to Heart with Preeti. In Heart to Heart with Preeti, we have people from different walks of life who are truly inspiring each other to live a truly blessed and a fulfilled life. How have you all been doing and how had your Saturday been so far? Drop in which cities are you joining in us and have you been following Heart to Heart with Preeti so far? Looking forward to know your comments and if you have been really following Heart to Heart with Preeti. And are you super excited to know who our guest for today evening is? Good evening, Arundhati. Warm welcome to Heart with Preeti. Warm welcome, Arundhati. Good evening, viewers, and a warm welcome to Heart with Preeti. Hope you are following our Instagram live talk show, and every weekend you are touched, you are inspired, and you take back home lots of inspiration and motivation to live a truly blessed and a fulfilled life. Good evening, Krish. Very warm welcome, warm welcome. And do you want to know who our guest for today evening is? We have Nidhi Kona and live a stress-free life. She is a wellness coach and she helps people to remain mentally and emotionally fit. Are you super excited to have a conversation with our guest today evening? She is also currently she's currently occupied in writing a book wherein she'll be sharing strategies on how can you live a stress-free life and how can you have that mental and emotionally healthy life. I am super duper excited to have Nidhi on Heart to Heart with Preeti. How are you all doing? And welcome each one of you. Welcome. And let us see if our guest is able to hop in. Warm welcome, Nidhi. Let me know if you can see us, viewers. Let me know if both of us are visible.
Yay! And we're live! I made it!
Hey, good evening. Good evening. Trust me, Nidhi, in the first go, we can get into the live. And otherwise, last 2, 3 weeks, I'm struggling to get the guest live. Some glitches Instagram is throwing. I'm crossing my fingers for that. Thank you. And a warm welcome to Heart with Preeti. How are you doing, Nidhi?
I'm doing great, and I think even Instagram wants us to do this live, so it didn't cause any ruckus, and it's like, come on, de dete, इनको अच्छा live de dete. But super
They
happy to be here.
they
Thank you so much
absolutely
for inviting me on your show, and it's
pleasure,
all
dear.
about the
Pleasure
joy,
to have.
right? This is this is joy with Preeti. So anywhere there's joy, count me in as well. So that's why I couldn't say.
Absolutely, and the mission on which we are working is like over, like when you say that you're wanting people to live a well life in terms of emotional and mental well-being, so that's where the ultimate joy comes into place. When somebody is mentally and emotionally fit, the inner peace is there, the inner calmness is there. That's ultimately where we find joy. So maybe we both are, collectively on a common mission, is what I would say.
You know how I define wellness? Wellness is simply nothing but finding the well of happiness inside of you. That is wellness. But ho
Absolutely,
gaya.
absolutely. Because
Which means
बाहर
that.
वाला जो wellness है ना, that
Hmm.
is a very situational kind of a thing. The outer wellness, the outer happiness, that's all a momentary kind of a thing. But when it comes internally, and if somebody is internally strong, internally happy, internally well,
It
That's where the
shows.
ultimate happiness
It
lies
shows.
into.
And you glow. Henna, like you can tell, you'll see people who have amazing genes, okay, and you're like, "Arey, wow, this person, look at the mom, look at they must look amazing." But then if they're sad on the
Absolutely.
inside, na, genetics gaya baad mein, you see that they're like, they're not feeling happy, no glow, nothing. But if you see someone who's
Absolutely.
maybe not blessed with the best genetics but is so happy, has a beautiful smile, you're like, oh, this person, I remember that person. So people remember your energy, people remember that glow. They don't, it's not genes, it's you, it's your energy. I know.
It's you. Well said, Nidhi. It's not the genetic thing, but it's the internal happiness that reflects on the outer. Absolutely, and truly joyful to have you on our show, and I'm sure our viewers would take away lots of insights when it comes to their mental and emotional well-being. So let's get going. And viewers, if you are truly wanting to turn your passions to profit, then stay tuned. I'll be revealing a secret wherein you can become a digital entrepreneur. And yes, Nidhi has an exclusive gift for you. The first 5 viewers who type in alchemy, that's Nidhi's Insta handle, alchemy with Nidhi. The first 5 of you who type in alchemy in the comment box receive a free one-to-one session with Nidhi. Now that's a deal. If you are super excited to get more knowledge on your mental and emotional well-being, then drop an alchemy in the comment and Nidhi will reach out and she'll give you exclusive slots. And this is only for the first 5 of you who drop in alchemy in the comment box. So let's
Yeah.
get going, Nidhi, with the session today. So my very first question, Nidhi, what brings you to be a wellness coach? Why are you on a mission of helping people live a mentally and emotionally fit life?
You know, I've played many roles in my life. So I started off as a molecular biologist. I started off as then I went to research and scientific writing. And writing is one of my core, passions. I would consider myself an author, but the thing is, it's not just when you write a book that you call yourself an author. Each and every one of us is the author of our own lives. Every single day we're writing a story. Every single day we're charting out who I want to be, what are the kind of things I want to do, what are the kind of people that I want to meet. We have so many stories going on in our own brains that we don't realize. And I didn't realize all the shitty stories that were going on in my brain that actually caused me to be quite depressed, and that is something I can't even say because I'm the most optimistic person you would meet. Okay, so whenever my friends meet me, they're like, you're a golden retriever. Okay, how are you ever sad? But then I'm like, it happens. You don't know. On the outside, everyone looks like they're happy and they're fine and sab kuch mast hai. But on the inside, only you know what you're going through. And it sometimes a lot of people struggle with loneliness because everybody is there, friends are there, family is there, but then they don't have the will or they don't feel the safe space that they can express that to someone else. Okay, I'm going through something. And I couldn't. I was always there for everybody else, but I was never there for myself. And I realized that it has become a pandemic. Even before COVID, I feel like COVID has just exacerbated it and, brought it to the light ki, okay, we really need help at this point. But even before COVID, I think it was a quiet pandemic where people were just suffering quietly on their own. And then that's when I
Absolutely.
realized you need someone to show you that light. You need someone to show you that wellness or healing or anything like that. It doesn't have to be a lonely journey. You are not lonely at all. Arey, how can you be lonely? Even the other person next to you is smiling, is going through some thought process in their mind, and they're also feeling like, how do I get through this stress? And I've seen like 25-year-olds falling sick to chronic illnesses. I'm like, ye kya baat hui yaar? Like you're supposed to be healthy, you're supposed to be happy, but and you're hustling and you're working in your MNC and you're doing so many things, but you don't even know why you're doing it at the end of the day. You're not
Absolutely.
happy with your
Absolutely.
salary, you're not happy with your relationships. So kya? where is that happiness? And if your well of happiness is dried up, then there is no wellness. As simple as that. So that's
Correct.
when I was like, okay, I have
You know,
created
you
uh, that for myself, so now I have to help others do it as well. So yeah.
You just said this thing that, bahar se sab mast hai. And, that reminds me of a saying. I vaguely remember, मुझे नहीं याद कहाँ पढ़ा या सुना मैंने. It said that bahar se sab mast hai, but अंदर सब कुछ अस्त व्यस्त है. And this is exactly what our generation, for that matter, this so-called, socially Insta, FB, etc., etc., the social presence that people present, I mean, that's just a 5% of the life, as I would say. Majority of the 95% of life is not there. And किसी और
Filtered
का
out.
वो 5% देख के खुद अस्त व्यस्त हो जाते हो. What's the point? Absolutely. And you rightly said that internal imbalance है तो बाहर balance नहीं हो सकता. So the inner healing, as you told, that the internal healing has to be dealt with. That's so well brought in, because अंदर का कचरा नहीं जाएगा तो बाहर कुछ क्रिएट नहीं होने वाला है. I mean, as simple as that.
Exactly. Like, कितना भी paint मार लो ऊपर से, if the walls are cracking from the inside, the building is going to fall. It'll look great when it falls, but it will still fall. So that's the thing that people
Absolutely, absolutely. So, Nidhi, when it comes to wellness, I mean, you just shared that it is about your emotional and mental well-being. So, like, what are few tips which, on a day-to-day basis, like as anybody, let's say as a working mom, or as an entrepreneur, as a business person, anybody, or a corporate employee, what are few strategies that you would suggest that, which on a daily basis, which we can implement and they can help us?
one thing that has really helped me is taking mindful breaks. क्या होता है कि when we wake up in the morning, we're like, I have to do this, I have to do that, I have to-do list start हो जाता है. It plays like a cassette in your brain, and you just jump out of bed and you're doing things, and by the end of it you fall on bed and you're like, when did I go to sleep, when did I wake up, when did I go to sleep, किसी को पता नहीं. And then if you ask in the middle of the day क्या किया, पता नहीं. I don't know, but I did a lot and I'm exhausted. That is the same story that is repeating for everyone, and that chain needs to be broken every 1 or 2 hours. And you can only break that chain of becoming a machine or becoming a cog in that entire crazy structure by detaching yourself from whatever is happening. 2 minutes, if you take a break from your work, nobody is going to lose a kidney. Okay, everybody is going to be fine. But then people have that anxiety ki, oh my god, if I don't focus on my work for 2 hours, then some fire is going to happen. Nothing is going to happen. Detach, 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 detach. 2 minutes के लिए boring सही हो, but just look, observe your surroundings. Where are you sitting? What's happening? What is the sound that you're hearing? Just detach from your thoughts, detach from your worries, because we are not human beings तो कह देते हैं, but there is no less being. There's just doing throughout the day. So if you can take
Doing,
5 minutes to just be, I think you'll see a big shift. No matter what that, whoever that is, whether that's a working mom or a working professional or anything, applies to every human being. That is the number one tip. And then the next tip is also uh, about how you go to bed and how you wake up from bed. If you're springing out, don't do that. You're springing out with anxiety. How you start your day, you're already setting the tone for the day. If you wake up in a hurry, you will do nothing but worry for the rest of the day, because वही energy you
very
pick
well
up from work.
brought.
So when you
Correct.
wake up in the morning, be there on the bed, lie there, rub your eyes, stretch, let let those muscles slowly wake up, and then you go out and you feel happy. You start with gratitude. Please, everybody, if you've not forgotten to doing, maybe some people know about it and they're doing it, start with being grateful for something or the other. I'm grateful ki today I'm breathing nicely. I'm grateful ki the pillow I'm sleeping on is very comfy. जो भी है, even if it's the silliest thing, if you can find gratitude for it, that means you're very abundant. You're a very abundant person. If you can, because a lot of people
Absolutely.
now, they have so many things in life and they still don't feel satisfied. If you can
Correct.
create satisfaction for yourself out of nothing, out of the smallest things, then you are the most abundant person. So, gratitude.
Absolutely.
Uh,
And this waking time gratitude, Nidhi, you rightly brought in. I am seeing our generation, forget our elders, our parents, and all. It is now our generation which is gradually adopting this practice. I mean, I have always been seen elderly people like our parents age wala generation, they used to wake up and they used to look at their hands and they used to thank the almighty, that thanks for a new day that we are blessed with. They would touch the floor and they would be thankful to the earth
mm,
that we are alive, this is yet new day in our life. And
mm,
slowly and gradually, when I see our generation putting things like this into practice, maybe a gratitude journal, writing on a daily basis, or at least being thankful that you have a healthy body. I mean, at the start of the conversation, you rightly brought in that youngsters are suffering with chronic diseases. I mean, let's all be thankful that we have a healthy body, our body parts are functioning properly. That's the best thing. I mean, money and all, that's all a byproduct and a secondary stuff that will come in gradually. but जो basic चीज है, कई लोगों को sunlight नहीं मिलता सुबह, कई लोगों को एक healthy body के साथ they don't wake up. As small as these things, if we are truly grateful, this is where that mindset shift comes in. And it is always said, whatever you are thankful for, it always multiplies. It always does. So, viewers, if you want a healthy life, say thank you to God every day for the health that you have. If you want a strong financial life, start thanking for your current financial status. If you want a prosperous job, start thanking for the job that you have today. And do remember, first five who write alchemy in the comment box are going to get an exclusive one-on-one session with Nidhi today. Yes, Nidhi. So you brought in very well that hurry brings in worry,
mm.
and that's a takeaway I'm going to take, because most of the time I see myself rushing up, hurrying up, that clock is ticking, my to-do list is pending. So yes, I at times get into that zone of rushing. But yes, you rightly brought in, it is when we take those small pauses after few hours, that's where the bright transformation takes in. So very much thankful for
It's your
bringing in this
reset
point,
button.
Nidhi.
It's a little
Huh?
reset button, It's like a little reset button. Just
Reset button, and this is what you just shared, Nidhi. It is very much similar to the Pomodoro technique. I
mm,
mean, I just recollect during a conversation long back, I had recorded a video on the Pomodoro technique. What that basically says is, after every hours of your work slot, take some 5-10 minutes का gap. And
mm,
this is exactly what we are talking. Refresh हो जाता है mind, एक वो zone से बाहर आके it gets energized again. So
mm.
that's where maybe your productivity will increase. That's where your focus will increase, and that's where you'll find more zeal and more vigor to work into. Is
You know
that
what
right,
happens?
Nidhi?
The thing is,
Uh-huh.
it's absolutely right, but what happens is people waste that time. Pomodoro sabko pata hai, they get the app and all of that. But then that 5 minutes now, what do? They're on
Insta
Instagram,
पे जाके
they're scrolling, and then they're doom scrolling, then 5 minutes say 50 minutes ho gaya. So that is not it. That is not the break that you should be taking. That 5 minutes, I'm gonna tell you, bore ho jao. Please bore yourself. Bore yourself in those 5 minutes by doing absolutely nothing. The best thing to do is focus on your breathing. Just sit there, saas lo, saas chodo, saas lo, saas chodo. It's the most boring thing, but honestly, if you can get bored and still be happy with it, it is a superpower, because it is the drive to run away from boredom or always keep ourselves active, that we fall into all of this kind of shiny object syndrome, or TV, or binge watching, or binge eating. It's because we're trying to avoid boredom at all costs. अरे bore हो जाओ यार, 5 minutes को कुछ नहीं होगा, you'll stay healthier rather than trying to get
this
that dopamine hit again and again and again and again. So yeah.
this boredom related, Nidhi,
Hmm.
I read an article just yesterday itself. The article clearly said that we, I mean, this generation cannot sit and have a self time.
Hmm.
एंड दैट इज द रीजन वाई अपना वाला जनरेशन का ये जो स्ट्रेस प्रॉब्लम है या एंशियस, they get anxious a lot. So that article clearly said that because this generation is not giving a me time, वो खुद के साथ नहीं बैठते, and the moment they feel कि मैं अकेला बैठा हूँ या कुछ नहीं है, work related, they'll pick up their gadgets. The article clearly said कि अपने आसपास search any two persons who you can say कि वो 10 मिनट खाली बैठा है बिना कुछ करे, and trust me, मेरे को
You
अपने
cannot.
आसपास कोई नहीं दिखा.
You cannot find anybody.
ये रियलिटी
सब
है आज
healing में
के
तो
टाइम
है.
का कि कोई भी नहीं, मतलब काम से विमेन घर के हाउस होल्ड से फ्री हुई तो मोबाइल या टीवी, जेंट्स
हाँ,
लोग वर्क लाइफ से फ्री हुए तो मोबाइल. आई मीन व्हेन आर वी सिटिंग विथ आवर ओन सेल्फ विदाउट एनीथिंग? आई
sleeping. बस.
ट्रूली, आर्टिकल क्लियरली सेड कि दो लोग बता दो मुझे, सच में दो छोड़ एक भी नहीं मिले. मैंने कहा
हाँ.
कितना सही चीज है कि पीपल आर नॉट सिटिंग विद देयर ओन सेल्फ एंड देन दे कंप्लेन कि डिप्रेशन हो रहा है, एंजाइटी हो रही है, पैनिक अटैक्स आ रहे हैं. वी आर वेलकमिंग ऑल दिस स्टफ विद द एक्टिविटीज दैट वी आर डूइंग डे इन एंड डे आउट. आई मीन हम कॉन्शियस ही नहीं है खुद की वेल बीइंग का टेक केयर करने के लिए. सो things are happening around us. Why not? Now, Nidhi, that brings me to another question. Many people start with this challenge kind of a thing that नहीं 21 days के लिए मैं challenge करती हूँ, I'll do this, I'll do that. But वो wellness journey पे they cannot stick. Be it their mental wellness or their emotional wellness, they somehow withdraw. So, what do you think are the common obstacles that people feel that when they are going on this, healing journey mentally, emotionally, and they kind of are unable to do it?
You know what happens when people say healing, or if someone is new to healing, they think it's like khulja simsim, abracadabra, and then you're fixed. And you'll those 121 days every day you're just getting better and better and better, and it does not happen. Everything is a crest and a trough. It's a wave. You are a wave. You know how you get from point A to point B. You move yourself. You have those ebbs, you have those flows. So there will be days when you're feeling really good, सब कुछ आ रहा है, creativity है, you're feeling energetic, and there will be those days when you suddenly crash and you're like, why is why am I so anxious? Why is all the stuff that I have buried coming up? But whatever is coming up for you to be released. That little guidance is missing in a lot of people. When you try to self heal na, you feel lost precisely because of this. You don't know ki, are you on the right track or no. You will have all kinds of emotions coming up, but then they come up so that you can just sit and be with yourself and process whatever anxiety is coming up. You have spent your entire life running away from anxiety, and now it's asking you to sit with it. Can you do it? And most people
Correct.
cannot do it. Cannot sit with themselves. Cannot deal with the anxiety. So that's when you have a community. That's when you have a mentor. That's when you have someone being like, it's okay. I see you. I see that you're not okay, and it's okay not to be okay. You have to accept. I feel like people feel it's shameful to not be okay or shameful to have an off day. That it's not shameful at all. It's very normal. Very normal. And I feel like if you have those bad days are the trampoline for you to have a good day. Because all the feelings that you process, no, you release it and you clear up your vessel, you clear up your body to fill you up with that beautiful energy of tomorrow. अगर कबाड़ अभी भी है, then how can you get tomorrow morning fresh sunshine into your body? नहीं होगा ना. You're still carrying yesterday's crap. So it's okay. Sometimes you have to purge. It's just letting it out. It's all natural processes also. We can't forever eat. We have to eat and then we have to let it go also. We have to eliminate it. So even your healing journey, even your emotions, whatever emotions you take on from other people, whatever energy you take on from other people, there will be off days where you're shedding that energy off, where you're releasing that energy off, and it doesn't feel that great. Sit through it. Get through that day, and again you'll be back to your sunshine mode. And naturally, after 21 days also, like maybe a month or 2 months, even me, I'm not going to sit here and be like, मुझे तो anxiety कभी आता ही नहीं. I don't know what anxiety is. I will not say that, because as a human being, you have that. It's just an emotion. If I don't have any emotions, then something is wrong with me. So,
Absolutely.
but what happens as a mentor, or what happens as a practitioner of healing, is that those ebbs and flows are not very frequent. Like it'll come and it'll be there maybe for an hour or two, but I know how to deal with it, so I'll stick with it for an hour or two and it'll go off. And slowly it'll from months to days to hours to minutes. So now anxiety
Correct.
stays only for a few minutes. But that is my sadhana, that is my practice. Had I not sat with myself for hours and days before, I would not be able to sit in a stage now and be like, okay, I know, few minutes only. I can transform this in a few minutes. So people
Correct.
need guidance and people need assurance that it's okay. You got
It's
hota hai.
okay.
It's no, because no one tells you
And
it's not.
I loved what you just said, Nidhi, that it's okay to not be okay. And somehow people keep hiding their pains. They themselves feel that even am I feeling that pain?
Hmm.
I mean, why do you feel bad about a pain? You are a human being. It's natural, be it a failure, be it some setback, be it some kind of a loss. We are natural. I mean, that's a natural kind of a feeling to go through. And we are no machines, we are no robots. Jisko you said ki na feel nahi hoga types. So it's and absolutely it is okay to not be okay. For that matter, just to share, last week I was just not willing to do any of my social postings.
Hmm.
And I was like, koi baat nahi, consistency break hogi, but if my inner game is not saying a yes, I will not do it. I mean, just for the sake of maintaining my consistency, my inner world is saying कि नहीं मुझे नहीं करना, I'm pushing myself. It's okay not to do it. I mean, कौन सा एक दिन में कुछ हाइक हो जाएगा या एक दिन में कुछ है ना bombard हो जाएगा, nothing like that. So viewers, this is to each one of you. It is very much okay to not be okay, and it is very much okay to feel any kind of a pain, any kind of a setback, any kind of a loss. We all are human beings. Let us acknowledge even the negative side, even those not so happy moments. And that's where that emotional well-being will come in, because what I've observed, Nidhi, just because of this social media kind of a syndrome that people have, majority of us just post the happy side of ours, which
Hmm.
is a part of our reality.
Hmm.
And
It's a point.
I was that's what, which is a fraction. I mean, not the entire 24 hours ka game that is there. Be it you, be it me, or any of our viewers who's watching this. So let us all be okay about not being okay. And I love this statement of yours. It's okay not to be okay. Thank you for bringing in that,
You
Nidhi.
know what?
Viewers,
I
any
just
questions
thought of
that you?
something. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
But one thing that I thought of is like one simple example that I give is, suppose say you were running and you fell down and you hurt yourself. Okay, badly you hurt yourself. Now again, what is the logical thing to do? Rest, na. There is no shame in that. If your leg has
Absolutely.
fallen and you rest, and so will it make what happens when you keep running with that pain? It becomes worse. So that's the same thing with emotions as well. If you have an emotion, but you don't sit with that emotion and you run away from that emotion, emotion is not going to run away. It's just going to get worse. It's just going to get deeper. It is just like a physical wound. Your emotions are also just representative of wounds that you can't see. They're invisible wounds that you feel. So don't run away from them. Sit and care for them and elevate out of it. That's all. So yeah, I think
And
now if anyone has
when any kind of when any kind of such surges we are experiencing, such kind of an emotional surge,
questions.
we can just sit with ourselves and we can acknowledge that yes, मुझे दुख हो रहा है, मुझे गुस्सा आ रहा है, मुझे बुरा लग रहा है, I'm feeling hurt, XYZ. And maybe then we can handle it. Until and unless we acknowledge of what
Uh,
we are internally going through, how are we going to action upon it to rectify it? So first of and foremost is to acknowledge whatever emotion you are feeling instead of putting it aside कि मैं तेरे को बाद में attend करूंगा. Attend that emotion right now, get it addressed so that it doesn't pile up. Is that correct, Nidhi? Or are there any
Absolutely.
variations to that?
Absolutely. When you label something, no, you automatically remove the emotional charge from it. Like we tend to have
Mhm.
an exaggerated response to something that we don't fully understand. It's like, it's like, oh my God, what is this and this is that and all of that. But it's like, okay, I'm feeling anxious. Automatically you come down 2 notches because you already know what. It's always the unfamiliar that triggers us more. So when you are familiar with the emotion that you are feeling, somehow your brain already knows that it is okay, it is manageable. If I know what I'm feeling, then it's manageable. That's step one. So label, whenever you label something, it automatically takes away the negative charge. And then you observe it. That's how you detach. That's how you stop associating and making your entire self a pain person. You're not. A part of you is hurting. A part of you is unwell. That is not your entire
Correct.
personality. Don't make a temporary situation your entire identity. I feel like a lot of people do that. They forget.
Right.
They think that they become their pain, they become their stories, they become their all of those things. No, you are not that. You are a well
No.
of happiness. Again and again and again, I will tell you this. You are a well of happiness. Wellness is inherent in you. So everything else
Correct.
is separate.
Well of happiness, you said that, right?
Yeah, that's wellness.
That's wellness. Absolutely. Viewers, you are well of happiness is what Nidhi brought in. And let's start believing that yes, we are well of happiness and it's just happiness that we have around us. And that's where you will experience miracles coming and happening in your life. So Nidhi, that brings to another question, and I'm a little curious that what is one tip? I mean, you told about taking breaks on a life. We discussed about acknowledging the kind of emotions that we are going through and all. So, one single tip, कि मतलब it is like that jadoo ki chhadi. If somebody has it, that's the best trick to deal your mental and emotional well-being.
Mm, take accountability. I think what most people are lacking is that they blame the external circumstances in their life. कि ये मुझे वो कर रहा है, this is happening to me, that is happening to me. And whenever you blame someone for doing something to you, that essentially means that they have more power over you than you have over yourself. And that is it. तभी तुम्हारा लेवल 0 हो गया, तुम्हारा 100% बैटरी से 5% आ गया, and now you're on battery saving mode and you're shutting down and all of that. You will see everything is a replica. How we behave, how our technology behaves, everything is very similar. So even for us, the minute you're like, no, I am in charge of my own happiness, if I want to accept this insult from someone, then I will accept it. If I think that it's valid criticism, I will take it. If it's not needed, if I don't agree with it, then I don't accept it. So when you take accountability for what you are feeling, what is happening to you, you automatically become super, 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 super powerful, because that means that you are controlling your life. And if you are controlling your life, then even if it's a mess, it is your fault. Yes, that sucks a little. But even the best things that can happen are also your creation. It's you. You can make that happen.
Absolutely.
So that is what empowerment actually means, where you know that you are powerful. You cannot be empowered until you know that you are powerful. Empowerment is not being given stuff. Empowerment is not just taking things for granted, or women being like, oh, anything is possible for me. No, it is you recognizing that as a woman also, it doesn't matter, men, women, whatever it is, all of us have our own problems. But at the end of the day, do you realize how many beautiful gifts you have as a unique human being, and are you actually using them to the fullest? That is power. When you know that you are the creator of your life. And a lot of
Correct.
people don't do that. People don't think that they're creators. People think that luck is there, fate is there, karma is there. All of that is there, but you are also there. What about that? So take accountability
It
of
is,
yourself.
it is, it is like, अपनी life का remote control अपने हाथ में रखना instead of giving it to any
Yeah,
situation or anybody outside.
absolutely.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
It's
So
hard,
viewers, any
but it's
questions?
very powerful.
It is what? What did you say?
It's hard, but it's very
Ah,
powerful.
absolutely. It is, it is. It is hard to bring that remote टीवी और एसी का तो हम मैनेज कर लेते हैं बट अपनी लाइफ का रिमोट ना उसने डांट दिया
टूट
उसने
जाता है.
अप्रेजल नहीं दिया उसने उसने पीपीटी रिफ्यूज कर दिया रिजेक्ट कर दिया उसने गुस्से से बात करा एक्स वाई जी
Yeah.
that's what we do we give अपनी life का remote to other people's and that's where our
Easily.
sadness our
Easily.
rejections our negligence everything comes into place and जिस दिन वो remote हमारे खुद के हाथ में आ गया just like a remote life is all set absolutely absolutely so viewers any questions with regards to your mental and emotional well-being we have Nidhi she's a wellness coach and we would love to answer your queries any questions which you have with regards to your mental and emotional well-being. Acha Nidhi, I was also reading you mentioned that you help onto the healing journey as well when it
Hmm.
comes to their healing mentally and healing emotionally. So let us know something on that front as well.
So, healing, the word healing, there's so many forms of healing, right? I think people don't recognize that healing comes in different ways from different sources. Healing does not always have to be someone, giving you gyan 24/7, because I feel like there's a lot of information in the world right now. Even with all the information, there is no clarity. So, why is there no clarity? So healing can be a simple thing as a moment of clarity is also healing for yourself. For an overwhelmed brain that is just so fried with everything, that moment where you just shanti se baith jao and you realize कि this is for me, this is not for me. This brings me a lot of joy, this does not bring me a lot of joy. And I'm going to pursue the thing that is bringing me joy. That is healing. Now, there are other forms of healing. There's Reiki healing, there's crystal healing, there's so many types of healing. But what is the healing that suits you? What is the healing that is bringing joy to you? And that only comes from exploring yourself. So, what I do to people also is that I don't be like, okay, you do this. Again, I'm making human doings. I don't want human doings. The whole point of me working with people is to make them be. And how can you be without actually knowing what makes you happy? So, a tip to all of
Absolutely.
you is reflect on what truly brings you happiness and please do it. If you cannot spend at least 10 minutes, recharging your soul with a thing that makes you happy, then you're really, you're being a meanie to yourself. You're bullying yourself if you can't give yourself those 10 precious minutes of happiness. So healing does not have to be something very complicated. Healing just means you're allowing yourself to be, and you're allowing yourself to be happy, and you're committing yourself to be happy. Because we forget, even me, even you, even mentors, we forget that happiness is not something outside of us, it's just in us. We just have to allow it to happen to us. So there are different forms of healing that I do based on the person and based on what they are looking for in life. But the simplest thing I can be like, self discover. Just be happy, just be a kid. I know we're adults and we have a lot of responsibilities, but don't ever let the kid die. The kid will always be alive. The kid will always want you to, because the kid, kids have unconditional love. They're so excited about everything. They're willing to learn, have that passion to learn, have that passion to express yourself. As a lot, because adults have more filters than anything else. So start seeing what are the filters that are beneficial for you and what are the filters that are really not helping you. What are the filters that are taking away your joy from you? See, that can be a form of healing also. Just reflect.
But when you start expressing, I have heard many women say this, that ठीक है दिल से express तो कर लिया. I mean anything, not just on your personal relationship aspect, any aspect for that matter. Women specifically say कि ठीक है खुल के express करने से they are being judged. And that
Mhm.
is where, of being judged, the fear of being judged, they withdraw from being who they truly are. And
Mhm.
to all the viewers watching this, give away that fear of being judged. आप जब जब ये सोचोगे कि कोई आपको जज कर रहा है तो बी श्योर कहीं ना कहीं हर कोई आपको जज करेगा. And that does not mean that you stop being your own original true self. Is that the right message to conclude the session with?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. See, you know, everything is constantly being molded, constantly being shaped. If don't ever let somebody else's judgment stop you from being you. Yeah, life is too short to live it according to somebody else's. अरे they have their life, let them live. उनकी judgment उनको उनको दे दो. Why are you taking on their burden? See, judgment is always coming from some sort of judgment is whenever I heard the word judgment, no, it's like a sentence. You're in a courtroom and
Correct.
तुमने judgment दे दिया. Who are you? Who are you to
Who
pass
are
that
you?
judgment on somebody else?
Absolutely.
And who are you to take that judgment? अरे दूसरा कोई जज है क्या तुम्हारी लाइफ में? नहीं, तुम हो. You are the, that's what I started off saying, right? You are the author of your life. Okay. And as the author of your life, you cannot let somebody else write the words for you. That is plagiarism.
Correct.
Don't let someone plagiarize your life. You take ownership of every
Absolutely.
word that goes into your book of your life.
And
So
let God be
let
the
go.
co-author of your book.
Yeah, let the divine be the co-author of your book. Let
Co-author
go of the
of
judgment.
the book.
Because if you
And
let the judgment in, na, you'll never let your uniqueness, you'll never let the true you come onto paper. You'll never explore who you really are if you let somebody else cut your wings before you even
correct.
fly.
Correct. And a spiritual master of mine, there's always a teaching which comes from her. She says that whatever judgment anybody passes about you, be it a judgment, a feedback, an opinion, to a major extent, yeah, it plays a role of who you are, but to a major extent, they are seeing that from their own lenses.
Mm.
See, for example, if I take off this glasses of mine and if I put that my sunglasses, तो मुझे अभी पूरा screen black and all दिखेगा. And if I'm wearing this glasses, there'll be a different view altogether. So that's what that spiritual mentor mentions, that people judge, they give the opinion, they give the feedback based on their own observation
Experience.
power, on based
Yeah.
on their own thought process,
Yeah.
and it has to do
With them.
quite little when it comes to you yourself.
Yeah. Yeah.
And we
Absolutely.
just think कि उसने ऐसा बोला, उसने ऐसा करा, मैं ऐसी, मैं वैसी. And अगर क्लियर हिंदी में बोलूं ना, women इसकी सबसे बड़ी शिकार होती हैं. Because they
Mm.
allow others' judgments to be passed on them. They
Mm.
take others' feedbacks and opinions and they, pour that over themselves.
Mm.
And that's where they become a target to all this stuff. And that's where their wellness, their emotional and mental well-being goes for a toss. So this
Mm.
is to each and everybody watching us, come out of that LKK syndrome. लोग क्या कहेंगे, लोग जज करते हैं, करते थे और करते रहेंगे. That's not your domain. You focus on what you're meant to do. You focus on what gives you a true joy in doing, be it your personal life, be it your work life, be it your social life. Be what you truly want to be. Nidhi, any closing tips?
Just just let the kid in you shine. Take that kid for a ride. Have masti karo. Have dedicated masti time every day.
मैं
Because
मेरे
that's
असली वाले किड्स मैं
no,
मेरे असली वाले किड्स को और अपने खुद के वाले अंदर वाले किड को दोनों को अभी आइसक्रीम के लिए
no.
ले जाती हूँ आफ्टर दैट.
That sounds nice. No, so you have three
That's
kids. Don't just don't just be like your actual physical kids. That kid and you also is as much your kid as the other one. So yeah, definitely.
करेक्ट.
That is
नहीं, ऐसे तो फिर ऐड करो तो फिर हस्बैंड भी है, बिजनेस भी है, सभी किड्स है फिर तो.
sabhi. We're just a bunch of kids, yeah.
Jokes
I mean,
apart.
to the divine, we're all just a bunch of kids anyway. So yeah.
Absolutely, absolutely. So, viewers, if you are watching us live, you can comment alchemy. If you are looking forward to our exclusive session one on one with Nidhi, the first 5 of you who drop in alchemy, we are more than happy to offer a one-on-one conversation with Nidhi, wherein she'll help you explore your mental and emotional well-being path. She'll help you on that journey. So avail the best of this opportunity. Drop in alchemy, and Nidhi will be dropping in a conversation link with you, wherein you can go and have a 30 minutes. Is that the duration, Nidhi, you're offering?
Yeah,
So
45
she can
minutes, I
offer
think.
a
Yeah.
30. Okay. So 45 minutes duration, a one-on-one conversation wherein she'll help you move on a journey of mental and emotional well-being. So Nidhi, gratitude for coming on Heart to Heart with Preeti. This is genuinely one of the open heart conversations that we had today. And wish you lots of luck with the upcoming book that you're working on. I know you're working very deeply on a project. Wishing you best wishes for that upcoming book. Looking forward to that. And all the best on your journey towards spreading wellness to people. Thank you so much. Thank you for coming in
Amazing.
on Heart to
Thank
Heart,
you.
Preeti.
Lovely.
Thanks.
My pleasure. Thank you so much.
Thanks.
Take care, everyone. Thank you for tuning in. And I hope you never forget and you never let the light, die out. Just keep shining, keep exploring, and just let that well of happiness grow and grow and grow more and more every single day. Thank you so much, Preeti, for adding
Absolutely.
a burst of sunshine my way today. Thank you.
Thank you so much.
Take
Thank
care.
you. And viewers, see you next Saturday, 7 p.m. with yet another inspiring personality. And do remember, as I always say, सोचेंगे तो definitely होगा. Cheers to joyous living. Cheers to motherhood. God bless. Thank you, Nidhi. Bye-bye.